Welcome back to Krishi Learning Platform. In this video, we are going to see about the strategy for paper 4 intermediate taxation. Okay, so taxation is the paper 4 of CA intermediate, and this video is going to be in English so that it will help many South Indian students. And moving on with that, so now we are going to see about strategy for taxation people, and another thing is that I'm going to share my personal experience about scoring exemption in taxation. So I scored 61 marks in taxation. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to divide this taxation into two things. Okay, the first thing I want to do is that I want to divide taxation into section A and section B. Okay, for me section A, and I think from all of us section A is income tax or direct tax, and for section B is GST or indirect tax. Okay, so income tax will come for 60 marks and GST will come for 40 marks. Okay, so I wanted to share my personal experience now. I was very sure with GST that I would score 30 plus marks in 40. You may ask why I'm saying that I'm very sure in that, but why am I aiming 30 marks rather than aiming 35 plus marks? Because I was not good in returns chapter of GST, because it contains more things to remember rather than conceptual understanding. Okay, so what I thought was I'm not a person who could mug up everything. I am a person who could understand conceptually, and only then I can retain concepts. Okay, only then I can retain something that I have learned. So what I thought was, let me read the returns chapter. Okay, so yes, and I scored 32 marks in GST. Okay, so I scored 32 marks in GST, and I think around 29 marks in taxation out of 60 marks. So now, why have I scored less in income tax? Because I just aimed for 25 marks in section A, and I aimed for 30 plus marks in section B. So this was my basic criteria, because I'm not strong in income tax as well. So I don't like income tax at all because it has lots of provision, and by seeing the module 2 of ICA study material, I just got hatred towards the chapter, because that chapter and that head of income is so dry that I don't like it at all. So what I thought was, instead of studying head of income and aiming for 14 to 20 marks, I thought let me aim for 25 marks. And what did I study? Instead of studying major chapters, I just studied small bits of chapter. Bit chapter. Not big, it is bit. Okay, so bit chapters. So I'm going to list down the chapters which I have learned. Now, the first chapter is basic concepts of income tax, and then residential status, and then income from other source, and then clubbing of income, okay, so and then set off and carry forward of losses, and then deductions. Though deduction is big, I learned from a different book rather than I say study material, so that had fewer provisions with better conceptual understanding. Okay, so conceptual delivery. So that book was different, and I will say about that book at the last. And now the next chapter I was thorough was TDS, advanced tax, and TCS, and the returns of income and assessment chapter, and then agriculture income and SES. So this is not a chapter but two different concepts. I just read these two different concepts so that if something is tested in the MCQ, I could be able to write those answers. Okay, so that was my basic idea behind all this. So I just read all these chapters. Okay, so I was not very sure with PGBP. I don't know capital gain. I don't know salaries. I don't know head of income. But I have read all those ones. Okay, all those ones. I know the basic outline of those chapters, but I am not very particularly sure in all those concepts. Okay, so that was the basic idea. But in all these things, all these chapters that is from all these nine chapters, I was very sure so that I could able to attend 25 marks very easily because I studied all these chapters from CA Pranav Chandak's LSDT book. Okay, so I just read all those things from this book. Okay, so this book is like bliss for me because it helped me so much. It helped me to understand many concepts in income tax. Okay, so I did self study for direct tax, and for GST I saw Tarun Raj sir's free fast track lecture in the YouTube itself, and I bought his book revised GST for sorry, GST, and for income tax I bought CA Pranav Index RLSDT, which was very good. And all these concepts, all this chapter was just 4 to 5 pages in his book, except deductions, TDS, and returns. These three chapters were huge, but as far as comparing to those huge bada chapters, that is salaries, PGBP, capital gain, I find this to be pretty comfortable, and I was very sure about how the questions are going to come. So with section A, okay, so in section A I was expecting as usual first question will be of 14 marks, okay, and the second question, third question, and the fourth question. Okay, so out of all these questions, one question will be from heads of income. Either income from house property and capital gain will be combined, this is part A and part B, or in some cases salaries and capital gain will come. Capital gain will come for 6 marks for sure, but I skipped that personally because I'm not going to attend any of the head of income questions. Okay, either in descriptive paper or in MCQ paper. I was very sure in that. I was aiming only for 25 on 25. Okay, so I was just aiming for that. And in GST chapter I was aiming 30 plus. Okay, so I was pretty sure on what to do and how I am going to approach the question paper. So even if some question comes from head of income in different order, I was very sure that I'm not going to attend it. So only I attended questions from all these chapters, and it came around 25 to 30 marks plus 5 marks to 8 marks. So almost 30 marks to 38 marks. In between this, I could able to attend. Okay, so from this, I could able to get 29 marks. Okay, so it was pretty good. I could attend 30 marks to 38 marks in you by just reading all these chapters itself, leaving PGBP, capital gain, salaries, house property completely. Okay, trust me. Okay, so now I just wanted to share few things that be if you are not very comfortable with all these chapter and you are comfortable end of income, that's fine, that's your wish. But be sure with residential status, TDS, advanced tax in TCS, and clubbing of income, setup of income. This alone comprises of 20 marks. This fourth chapter alone comprises of 20 marks, and from return of income and assessment, a sure short 4 mark question will be asked. And this time I'm expecting a question from TCS. I think that would come for 4 marks to 6 marks. Okay, I'm expecting a question from TCS for December 2021 exam, as there was a major amendment for July 2021, but it was not at all tested in July 2021. So I'm very uh, I'm very confident this time that TCS will be tested for sure. Okay, so please be sure in TCS and put more extra effort in understanding concept behind TCS. Okay, and read RTP, MTP, and previous year question in relation with TCS. Okay. Okay, especially this time RTP as well as July 2021 RTP, as there's an amendment in that. Okay, so yes, this was my strategy behind section A and section B. And for this income tax, I just used the CA Pranav Index as well as DT, and for this I used Arun Raj as revised IDT, revised GST, I think so. Okay, so the book name is that, and I bought that for 375 rupees, and I think this I bought for 599 something. I'm not very sure, but the book is really good. And yes, this is my preparation strategy that I follow to score good marks in taxation paper. I hope this will be useful. And yes, thank you so much for patiently watching this entire video. Stay tuned with Krishi Learning Platform for more tips and stuffs like that.